peace, and prosperity. This is Asaya Mystic coming to you again with another message that will be for your heart and soul. Today I am talking about the serpent, the Kundalini. Is God really the devil? Is the devil really God? Okay, we're talking about the original and the ancient spirit goddess of the earth. And we're also getting into, why there's so much resistance around actually recognizing the spirit of the earth as being a dominant force here in this realm. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about how people have so much resistance around feminine energy being a prominent force here in this reality. So many times, okay, I will say, or I will bring up how that the primary frequency of this realm, and even when I start talking about God, the God, and I start to relate that frequency back to a feminine force, there's so much resistance, okay? There's so much resistance that comes up, and there's so much programming that comes up, and there's so much that just comes up. And so I want to take some time to really decode all of that gunk, because there's just so much that comes up, okay? So one of the things that comes up whenever I start to relate God back to being a feminine energy, a feminine force, the main thing that comes up is people either they feel threatened or they have more questions, okay? And the threat and the energy around this feeling of, resistance towards that is, well, we don't want to put a gender on God. We don't want to say that God is a man or a woman. We don't want to be gender biased, or say that one gender is better than another gender, or one energy is better than another energy. And this is a common thing that comes up, not just when we're talking about God, but just in general when we're living our life. Whenever we want to bring awareness into how there needs to be more attention and more focus onto this area of things. Like the same thing for, when people are talking about some Black Lives Matter. Y'all don't like it when people talk about all lives matter. Actually, we don't just want to focus on Black lives. Why would we do that? That would be racist. Black people aren't any more special than any other race. Why do you keep trying to make Black people the focus and blah, blah, blah? And y'all that's listening to me, y'all already know how that sounds. You already know how it sounds. You already know how it feels. It feels like some narcissistic bullshit, okay? It feels like so wrong for somebody to even fix themselves to say something like that, because the reality is, it's not all lives don't matter. Right now, in this day and age, no, we can't say that. You can't fix your mouth and say that in the face of such imbalance. You can't fix your mouth and be like, oh, well, all lives matter, even though Black people are disproportionately being, the target of so many different misfortunes, okay? Whether it be by their own doing or by someone else's doing, law of attraction says like attracts like. Yes, we know that. However, that doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve our attention. So this is the same thing. Okay, this is the same energy here that's going on. When we're talking about all lives matter, this is that same thing. When I say that God is actually a woman, when I say God is actually a feminine force first, then the masculine comes in, y'all got a problem with that. And that's what I'm here to dismantle, okay? To just burn it all down. Because you can't sit here and walk around mad because of things that are just the truth. You can't do that. You can't do that anymore. That stuff is played out, it's over with. And Generation Z, okay, Pluto and the children with Pluto and Sagittarius, they don't have time for no more lies. I'm telling you right now, they all about the truth. And I am like, I'm like the leader of the Gen Zers, okay? Because I'm like right there. I was like right in the beginning of Generation Z with Pluto and Sag. I'm almost a millennial, but I'm not, okay? For a reason. So we don't want to hear that no more. There's no more room and space for lies anymore, okay? Now, the reason that this is so important to understand and to embrace and to adopt, okay, is because when you are resistant to the dominant frequency of this realm, when you are resistant to the dominant frequency of this earth, that means you're resistant to the dominant frequency of your own existence. And that also means that you will live in resistance to your own energy. So for example, in the Bible, in religion, in the Quran, whatever, religious texts, there is a God, right? But this God, seemingly throughout the entire text, if you read it in retrospect, if you take it for what it's telling you, and you're also seeing it for its for all that it is, and you're not just interpreting it and taking the meaningful parts and but if you're really just absorbing it for what it is, you will notice that God be on some stuff where it seems like very much so against the facets of the soul, meaning, you know, the 10 Commandments. First of all, the 10 Commandments, you know, there's commandments, even the commandments, it's like super strict and rigid. It's telling you to be a certain way. It's telling you to do certain things, telling you to follow this order of God. And all the while, if you ever follow the inklings of your soul, now this is outside of any interpretations, outside of any, you know, messages that you may be receiving, because look, the Bible is an ancient text and it's been skewed, it's been manipulated, it's been used to control as a tool for control. So understanding the Bible from that context and not the deeper context, not the getting back to the roots of what the Bible really means context, but just understanding its usage and its influence, okay, over the past, I don't know, a couple hundred years. It's pretty rigid and strict about how free you are to explore your own soul, your own power, your own self. So this in and of itself, this type of energy goes against feminine energy. It goes against the rubric of being in tune with feminine energy. Feminine energy says explore the soul, explore your nature, be in your element, honor your body, honor your inklings, relish your life. That's feminine energy, right? And the sacred masculine energy says protect the life, protect the flowering, okay? Rectify its wounds, rectify its scars. Sacred masculine wants to keep that life flowing in its divine order. But the distorted masculine and the distorted masculine says kill the life. The distorted masculine says get rid of the life. We don't want this here. This doesn't belong. The distorted feminine says the distorted feminine says I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to do that. I have to be this way. I have to be that way. This is what you will find in this text. This is what you will find in the Bible. But when it comes to understanding the greater and more expansive parts of ourselves, God from the Bible doesn't really allow us to do that. And this is why I made my Lilith video, and this is why I've been talking about Lilith, because I need you guys to start really seeing how a lot of what we are being taught, a lot of what we are being told, and even just being born into whatever time or era you're born into, you're here to explore the facets of your soul in relationship to this earth that we live on. And there's a reason why in doing that, it has been demonized. It has been considered, witchcraft. It has been considered evil, demonic. This is why people who are very religious, are scared of certain things. This is why connecting back to the earth has been considered to be such a demonic thing for so long, because when you connect back to the earth, you're evoking your true self. And this is who Lilith really is. And I talk about this in previous videos, but Lilith essentially is the spirit of the earth, the Kundalini energy that lives within all of us, but especially the primordial women of this earth. We all have the spirit of the serpent, aka the sentinel, inside of us. And this spirit, it like comes and whispers, okay? This spirit is very, very present in the body of women who are in tune and who have the primordial gene. They can hear the truth of this realm. And there's a reason why this serpent energy has been in reflection of the primordial women and their experience in their bodies and coming into this earth. There's a reason why they have been made to feel so low about themselves, so lowly, so unworthy, so insignificant, so just stripped of their worth. I think on regardless of what your chart looks like, though some carry this more than others, I think on every level, genetically, at some point, we all have an ancestor, or we are all tied to that genealogical line of women that have encumbered a supreme devaluing and stripping of worth. And that was really the beginning of this reality, of this matrix being created and thriving the way it has thrived, because the primordial woman is the key in many ways to activating the earth spirit, to activating the spirit of this realm, and re-establishing the spiritual hierarchy of this land. So we heal, and our bodies heal. We are connected to the earth. That is the only way. That is exactly how we experience healing in this realm, through connecting our physical bodies to the land, to the earth, to the plants, to the air, to the sky, to the sun, to the trees, we heal by merging ourselves to the Great Spirit. And the Great Spirit is only a connection to the Great Mother, right? So you guys got to stop feeling intimidated or scared to acknowledge God as being a feminine force. In the movie Avatar, with the blue people, they didn't have no problem with doing that. They wasn't like, oh, but God is a man and a woman. We can't just praise a woman God. They didn't do all of that. And honestly, because of the fact that we have been calling God a man for so long, easily and effortlessly, when somebody even tries to shift the conversation or say, no, you know what? We are from a feminine force, and we need to start recognizing that and honoring that. And when people get to shucking and bucking and jiving and, well, what about men? What about men? It's not really, you will see in retrospect that it's not really about equality. It's just because you have a problem. You still have a problem with the Great Mother being seen, acknowledged, and given the energy and focus that she needs and deserves in this era, in this day and time, okay? So that's what's needed right now. That's just what's called for right now. And it's something that you just need to start getting comfortable with, because the reality is people not walking around in poverty, sick, broke, all of the angsts of the world, right, and of the earth. That stuff, that's not a masculine archetype of being in those types of situations. That's a feminine archetype. That's a feminine energy issue. If you're experiencing a lot poverty, if you're experiencing illness in the body, that's a feminine attribute, because the feminine energy is what rules a well body, a healthy body. Feminine energy is what rules being abundant and being rich, full of energy, full of juices. Y'all get mad when I say this. Why? Do you have some blockages that you need to heal? Do you have some, still have some energy imbalances going on with the natural polarities of life, and recognizing that in real time? Are you still trying to put off masculine and feminine energies as if they are not actually connected to masculine and feminine things. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm a woman, but that doesn't mean I have that doesn't mean doesn't have anything to do with feminine energy. How does it not have anything to do with feminine energy? So you mean to tell me I can be majority masculine and live in a feminine body? Yeah, I'm pretty sure a homosexual will tell you that, because that's how they're living. But what I'm telling you is the naturalness of life in this earth, in this realm we're living on, calls for order, calls for balance, and recognizing it. So the devil has been made to be the devil in so many different religious texts and blah, blah, blah. And I'm bringing it back to religion because honestly, it's not so much the religion now in this day and age, but it's just in people's minds. It's so programmed subconsciously into people that I have to have so much resistance towards this feminine energy. I can't, I can't reflect. I can't be with myself. I can't, be feminine. I can't live in feminine ways. Heck, I can't even make money in feminine ways. Because if you do, you get called a gold digger. You get called lazy. You get hated on. It's just so much resistance towards being in your feminine energy and honoring that. And the masculine aspects of life is what gets the forefront of appraisal and acceptance. And that's fine, because I love masculine energy. I love that masculine energy is here. However, it cannot thrive in the way in its highest ways and potentials if feminine energy is not also put on a threshold or a pedestal. If the feminine energy is not accepted, especially in the bodies of women. How are you a woman and you can't even accept being feminine? If being feminine isn't just a look, it's not just getting pretty and dolled up and having certain mannerisms. It's a facet of your being. It's a facet of your soul. Being feminine and being in your feminine energy today is such a rebellious thing to do that it causes so much purging emotionally within people who are just observing it, right? And this will get brought up as the purging as jealousy, negative energy, spitefulness, anger. So much anger and grossness will be coming out of people from seeing people living in a feminine way. And it's a necessary happening, because people need to realize that you don't have to live the way your God has told you have to live. You don't have to live struggling. You don't have to live doing anything that you don't want to do. You don't have to live always on go and with always pushing forward, trying to get things done, and never taking a break, never taking a rest, never giving yourself the love and just nurturance. It's all about nurturance and living life easy. Living life easy and being in a constant state of satisfaction, okay? Being in a constant state of high self-worth. Because this money game and this anything in life, honestly, is all about, it is all about as you travel through this experience and understanding this life on earth. Again, Taurus is the ruler of earth. Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. So this is going to be the intrinsic aspect to our life here in this realm, is understanding our self-worth intrinsically and accepting it. And this is how the material flows. This is the back and forth flow of material and internal wealth. This is what has been demonized and what continues to be demonized. And I see it is perpetuated. Even some of your favorite influencers, okay, bless their heart, they don't know what they're doing, but they're perpetuating in a subconscious programming that still has to do with their masculine God. And once you start to really become in tune with your spiritual soul, with yourself, and connecting to this force here that's living, you will understand what I'm saying, and you won't have a problem anymore with acknowledging the Great Mother, okay, and the Great Spirit as feminine forces, okay? You won't have a problem with it at all. And it's time for people to stop feeling as if giving power to the feminine is taking away from the masculine, because that is the complete opposite. Empowering the feminine will always empower the masculine. It's empowering distorted versions of feminine energy that also empowers distorted versions of masculinity, and vice versa. Empowering distorted versions of masculinity empowers distorted versions of feminine energy. Period. So all your favorite influencers out here, bigging up, and encouraging you to empower certain images and aspects to masculinity that you don't agree with. You don't agree with it, right? You don't have to. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to sit there and feel like you're doing something wrong because they are still praising their masculine deity or whoever, whether it be Jesus, Allah, whoever, I don't trust no, oops, phone is going dead, y'all. But if you are out here preaching, teaching, leading, at some point in your life, maybe it will never happen. Like I said, it's not for everybody. But especially if you have that gene and you get that message and you feel that spirit, you know who your source is. You know who your God is, right? You know who you are, and nothing anybody else says anymore matters, because you're connected to that spirit. You're connected to that voice. And it's always going to speak to you and through you. It's always going to be present, sending you the messages of healing, sending you and whispering the truth, right? They say the serpent moves and slithers close to the earth, and he travels into the trees. She travels into the trees, into the sky. It knows the secrets of the earth, the serpent. And so you heal through the serpent. You live through the earth. It's a continual process. So there's a distinct reason why the serpent is acknowledged as the devil. There's a distinct reason why the serpent is acknowledged as this evil being. So you don't access the secrets of the earth. So you don't get in tune with your power, with that Kundalini, and with that feminine energy. And it's 2021, y'all. It's about time that you start to get in tune, to be enlightened, and accept that maybe, just maybe, our God is a woman, not a man. Oh gosh. Okay, y'all, been on here long enough. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the comment box. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. And yeah, check out the links in the description, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.